Let's have a look at the Numicon Digital subscription available through Oxford University Press. Skyrocket Maths can help you with your initial contact with Oxford University Press to get your subscription moving. The subscription is managed through Oxford Owl in the UK, and the URL is oxfordowl.co.uk. So once you've logged in, you can then get started. You'll be sent details for a school-wide subscription, which is renewed annually. So we log in. Once you've logged into your teacher account, you will see your subscriptions at the top of the screen and a variety of other product blocks here. So you can access it here or you can access it at the top. So I'm going to access it at the top here, Numicon Online. When I come into Numicon Online, on the home screen, you'll find a link to a whole lot of different resources. So if I come down here, there are many resources there and I can filter by resource type. So for example, I might be looking at planning resources and I might come into some planning documents. Okay. And this is where I can find a range of planning documents. I can find short-term planning charts, medium-term and long-term planning charts. So that's where I can see my scope and sequence and resources that you can find on the home screen. You'll be familiar with some of those. If I come into planning and curriculum support, there's also some other resources there related to planning, although they're more UK oriented. Let's jump now into the IWB software. Once we come into here, you can find a quick video that will take you through the software. We also have an extensive video on the Skyrocket Maths website under the videos section. That's about a 45-minute video that will show you all of the features of the IWB software, but let me give you a quick run through. So first of all, you'll see here the Numicon Interactive Whiteboard software. So I'm going to play that in a minute, but underneath you can see a variety of other ones, and these are versions of the screens that I've created in the software that I can then save and come back to later. So I'll show you those in a second. So we select this one to play, and the idea of the software is that it is enabling you to replicate what you would do with the manipulatives in an online environment, and it's great for whole class introductions. So first of all, our familiar Numicon shapes will pop up down the bottom, and you can see they go all the way up to 21. And when I select one of those shapes, it comes into the workspace. And once the shapes are in the workspace, I've got a variety of things that I can do. So I can select it. You can see here it's outlined. I can rotate it. I can flip it. I can delete it, whatever I like to do. So you've got a blank workspace that you can play in, and then you've also got a variety of resource tabs down the bottom. So by default, they bring up the Numicon shapes, the quiz and error odds, base 10 apparatus, and a keypad. But if I wanted to change these, for example, to the Numicon spinners or some money, pegs, I can also pop those tabs in, and you'll see they will appear there. So for example, if we're having a look at the spinners, I can come on to the Numicon shapes, I can pop a spinner up here, and then I've got an interactive spinner that I can be doing some whole class activities with my classroom. Okay, let's have a look at the workspaces. So up here we've got a variety of workspaces, and these are using the materials that we have in the Numicon resource. So let's have a look at the baseboard. You'll notice when I bring the baseboard, the pegs resource tab comes up. So this allows you to pop some pegs on the baseboard. And in the same way we would do this with a physical baseboard and pegs. For example, we can pop the shape on top. We can replicate that with the Numicon baseboard. We also have the pan balance. So this is showing us equivalence. So if I put a 4 over there and maybe a 3, I can see that the 4 and the 3 is not equivalent or not equal to the 6. So if I swap that out and put a 2, you can see that concept of equivalence. I also have a move feature and a draw feature down the bottom. So if I select the draw feature, it enables me to use my pen. So for example, 4 plus 2 is equal or equivalent to 6. So I can draw on my screen, and I've got different drawing tools there. At any time I can delete my whole workspace, and by clicking on a new workspace template, it will take me to, it will show me different resources. So let's look at the number rod track. All right, so here's our track, and it automatically brings in our number rod. So this is really handy if you're looking at some, you know, adding on 10, subtracting 10, um, anything to do with rounding or bridging. So when we're using our rods, they'll come in horizontally and enable us to pop them into the track. Okay, so it pops in there. But really nice if you're making to 10, using the making to 10 strategy or anything else. A variety of different reasons we use our Cuisenaire rods. Okay. Another workspace we use a lot is a number line. So lots of number lines. My favorite number line is a tens number line. Once again, when we click on a shape, it comes in horizontally. So for example, I'll delete that one. If I was looking at 8 plus 5 and I want to do a make to 10 strategy, okay, then I could be sort of saying, well, how many more to 10? I know my number bond of 10 is an 8 and a 2, and I have 3 more, so I can see that that is 13. So crossing over those decades is a really tricky thing, so let's show it with those manipulatives. Okay, we've got a variety of number lines here. Our 0 to 100 number line, that's the one with the decades marked in red and blue. Once again, the Cuisenaire rods come up for that one. Okay, we've got our decimal number lines, our fraction number lines, a variety of different number lines, positive and negative number lines, thermometer number line, lots of different ones. We've also got a 100 square, so this is similar to our 100 square that we'd be using in our classroom. We can just roll over the numbers to show and hide them. And then we also have the option to move the rows. So if we're looking at our counting patterns, we could bring it out to a horizontal representation and pop our pegs on. And our pegs will appear down here, and we might be looking at, for example, the 5s counting pattern, and be looking at the patterns and the rules that we can see in the 5s counting pattern. As I mentioned, at any time you're able to save these workspaces. So if we come up here to save, it allows me to save that, and that will ask me to pop a name in. So I'll say the 5s counting pattern. I can save that one, and then when I go back here to my list of my whiteboard software, you'll see the 5s counting pattern has just arrived in today. Okay, so that's a very quick look at the Numicon software. There are a variety of different workplaces, a variety of different tools, lots of customization, lots of opportunity for you to prepare what you're doing first, and then have it ready for your class. Things like the fraction wall, bar modeling, the Gattegno board, lots of different stuff that you can be using then. Okay, let's go back and have a look up the top. We're now moving on to our teacher handbooks. So if I have a quick look up here, our teacher handbooks basically replicate the activities that we have in books 1 to 6 in number pattern and calculating and geometry, measurement and statistics. There's a little video there to watch for an introduction, but I'll show you how it works. So for example, say we're looking at a year 1 and we can search by maths topic. So let's look at place value. What I can find here are all the activities in year 1 related to place value. You'll see the section of the book. So for example, the first one is in securing foundation, or the first few are in securing foundation. And then we move on to some that are in numbers in the number system. So this is referring to the yellow number and the number system section, activity group 1, and the activity group is called ordering numbers to 20. So you can see a range of different activities here in that ordering numbers to 20. So the first one is looking at number tracks, making a board game, building and naming numbers, etc. These are all in that same activity group. Okay, so if you were to go to your book, in book 1, numbers in the number section, activity group 1, these are the activities that you would see. Okay, so let's have a look at one of those. So when we select this, it comes up with a variety of information. The first part are the learning opportunities that are in the solid color page of the book, and the language and terms used related to this particular topic. So you can see the terms for use are here. We can click here to see our learning opportunities, and that will open up a Word document. And it tells us what we need to have ready, including our photocopy masters that you can print off. Over here you get a full activity group overview. So this is the document that provides you with the summary that is in the front of the book. Okay, so that's all there, allowing you to cut and paste if you wanted to pop that into your work program. A lot of these will have a starter image. So this is just an image to get you talking, promote discussion about the concept that you're starting to explore. It will have some whole class practice and discussion. So that's a section at the back that enables you to determine if your kids are ready to move on. The photocopy masters are there. The implementation guide is there. So that's the thinner book that comes with your teacher handbook, a link to the software. And then you also have the Explorer Progress book, which are the thin assessment books, the Explore More Copy Masters, which can also be sent home for homework, and some milestone assessment cards and tracking charts there. So there's lots of different links that are available on this screen. It then takes us through the steps in this activity. So this one has 3 steps and takes you through each of those. Now, where there are images, it will also have some images available on screen. And then the last one is the paired and individual work that are the activities that you can use for consolidation or for early finishes or for numeracy groups if you had some. Okay, so when we look at these, as I said, we can be searching via topic. I'm just going to clear this filter. And then we can also search by strand. So let's look at, for example, a year 4. And this time I'm searching by strand and I'm going to search by measurement. Okay. So here we'll have some time concepts. Once again, you'll see where they fit. Measurement number 1 is called finding times and durations using the 24-hour clock. So these first activities are from there. Okay. And then it moves on to another one, which is looking at decimal notation for money. Okay, so let's select one of these. I'll just click on this one. Once again, it will give us our learning opportunities and language for use in conversation. So these are the words that we need to be explicitly teaching to our kids related to the topic that we're exploring. So they're all listed there, and our learning opportunities. Okay, so that's directly from the book. Okay, it tells us what we need to have ready. Once again, has the photocopy masters that we need to get ready as well. They're the links that we talked about last time. And then it has the steps. You'll see here some references to images where they're needed, and they're the images that will appear in the book. And these images are also linked here, so they can come up full screen. So you can be doing that as a full screen view with your kids. Once again, the paired and small group or individual work is presented on the last screen. And these are lots of great activities that you can also be doing related to the tasks that you've just done as a whole class. Okay, so that's a quick rundown of the Numicon Digital resource. As I said, it includes lots of planning documents, your IWB software and your teaching handbooks, and enables you to search via year level, via topic, or via strand. Thanks for watching.